Things are about to change. Rain, thunderstorms, even a flood watch headed our way. We're in the Weather Center at this hour. City Council has given its blessing to a state law yet to be signed that'll allow street sweepers to carry cameras on them and traffic tickets for folks who insist on parking on the wrong side of street during alternate side parking days. We'll also get an update from the Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, telling the state of New York, your policies banning Native American symbols from schools are a violation of civil rights. Stop it. Well, the Trump Justice Department will be your next visitor here. Taylor Swift took to her social media today to announce she's back in control of all of her original music. Apparently, the catalog was sold to somebody who had control over its use. And a new court TV series on TikTok that deals with the perils of living with a shady roommate and taking them to court to get out of it. At least the Dow is showing gains at this hour, although the other indexes are still in a slide. Maybe we'll get a change before the closing bell. Stay tuned for Money Watch. And AccuWeather says turning cloudy tonight with early showers dropping down to a low of 60 degrees. Wednesday news time, 3:21, and from your Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com traffic center, here's Greg Rice.
Well, here is what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. City-bound side of the George Washington Bridge, we are still looking at a 45-minute ride on the upper, 30 on the lower. You want to get out of town? Do you want to swim? Because that might be faster. Northbound west side loaded into the 90s where there is a breakdown blocking the left lane and everything else far worse. East side of town, you got brake lights from the 20s all the way up. Cross Bronx will run you an hour out of the Bruckner interchange. Inbound Lincoln's about 10. Half hour home from 9th Avenue, 45 from 11th, and over an hour at the outbound Holland Tunnel. Outbound covered roadway and inbound Skyway on the Jersey side, pretty tough. Newark Bay is better. Citybound Midtown Tunnel, Brooklyn-bound Brooklyn Bridge, either way on the RFK and Whitestone, very tough rides. And the Jersey-bound Outer Bridge is getting worse. Gothel to the southbound Turnpike does better. Traffic is sponsored by Mercedes-Benz of Edison.com. At Mercedes-Benz of Edison, finding your perfect luxury vehicle is what they do best. It's no wonder why they were named the 2025 Mercedes-Benz Dealer of the Year by Cars.com. Come in for exclusive offers on over 500 vehicles during the Mercedes-Benz of Edison spring event. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
And what a trooper. Thank you, G. Get you some water, brother. I'll tell you what. Hey, if you've got some errands to run after work, you better get to running because these clear skies right now won't last through the evening. It might be starting to deteriorate in some pockets as we speak. Let's get the big picture now from AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson. Brian, are we in for it or what?
Yeah, we will get some downpours around here as we head through the night. So, Larry, we are seeing just a couple of spotty showers now. And that'll be likely the case over the early part of this evening. So if you have dinner plans, it's probably a good idea to have the rain gear with you. But we're not going to get into the more widespread, heavier downpours. The risk for thunderstorms as we get probably closer to midnight tonight into the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. That could be enough to cause some flooding. And we'll still have some showers and storms around later tomorrow. But the weather improves quite a bit after that. It's going to be kind of cool on Sunday to wrap up the weekend, but the sun is back. Looks like a dry day, and that dry weather continues as it warms up throughout next week. Larry?
Right. How unusual is this to be getting this much rain at this time of year?
Yeah, it's not terribly uncommon to get a lot of rain in the spring months, but we are well above average already over 6 inches of rain for the month. Tonight could easily put us over 7 inches for the month. That's going to be a pretty wet month for us.
My goodness, and I know someone somewhere is going, well, we're probably going to be wishing, or at least happy that we got it as we get into the drier summer months, so we'll see what goes. Thank you. And 1010 Winds ran into some folks today who say a dry summer day couldn't come a moment too soon around here. We took to the streets and talked with some folks. We'll hear from them a little bit later here in the broadcast. In the meantime, we invite you to stay with 1010 Winds for your weather updates. We are up all night, folks. We got you covered. You're going to want to pay even more attention to alternate side parking now because we might get a new state law that'll put cameras on street sweepers and automatically issue tickets to cars on the wrong side. Yep. Brooklyn City Council member Lincoln Ressler calls the proposal common sense.
We just don't have enough people who can be in all of the different places to enforce alternate side parking compliance. And so by automating enforcement and putting cameras on street sweepers, we can actually ensure that scofflaws are held accountable.
Earlier this week, the City Council gave its stamp of approval to the proposal, which is currently being considered up in Albany. The U.S. Education Secretary on Long Island today condemning the state over its attempt to bar Native American mascots in schools.
After President Trump announced his support for the Massapequa School District to keep the chief's name, the United States Education Secretary Linda McMahon visited the high school and said if the state does not allow the chief's mascot to stay, then the civil rights violation will be turned over to the Department of Justice for an investigation.
We've got the Huguenots, the Highlanders, we've got the Scotsmen. So why is that not considered in any way racist?
Local Native American leaders want the chiefs removed. The governor's spokesperson says the governor is focused on fully funding schools.
We'd like to really settle this in a very amicable fashion with the resolution, but we're certainly prepared to go deeper if we must.
Sophia Hall, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in Massapequa, Long Island.
And now Bloomberg Money Watch, and here is Andrew O'Day.
Last trading day of the month for Wall Street, and the market's been down most of the day, but not right now. We are splitting it up. Dow gaining 143 points, NASDAQ losing 58, S&P 500 up 6. Still more stocks down than up, though, as President Trump's partial retreat earlier this month from more punishing China tariffs built up a lot of investor goodwill, but much of that being erased today as Trump says that Beijing has violated their tariff agreement. A deal also helped consumer sentiment. University of Michigan reports a rebound from near multi-decade lows earlier this month. Microsoft has signed off on its first ever contract with the U.S. labor union. The deal goes to the union members for a vote. If they approve, they will see pay increases, including a 13.5% raise in July. It's a sizable pay bump for a small portion of Microsoft employees, about 300 people who work for the company's ZeniMax video game studio. Bloomberg Money Watch at 26 and 56 past every hour. I'm Andrew O'Day for 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Have you ever wondered why there is so much cancer on Long Island? Did you know that the DuPont Chemical Corporation and 3M recently agreed to a $13.5 billion settlement for contaminating public drinking water with cancer-causing forever chemicals? Long Island's drinking water has some of the highest concentrations of these cancer-causing forever chemicals. If you live on Long Island and have been diagnosed with kidney cancer, testicular cancer, liver cancer, or ulcerative colitis, you may have a claim. Call the lawyers at Krenzel, Guzman, Herbert. The KG Law Team is on your side. You can trust KG Law Team to diligently work toward restoring you and your family's well-being. There are serious time constraints, so call the KG Law Team for a free consultation at 212-227-2900. That's 212-227-2900. Or visit their website at kglawteam.com. That's kglawteam.com.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here is my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Get it? With the times.
With the times?
You're playing the lute. Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small, loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Whoever said you can't have it all never stayed at the mansion at Ocean Edge on Cape Cod. Find the perfect spot with 5 pools and a private beach. Find the perfect cocktail or lobster roll across 5 restaurants, golf, pickleball, luxury villas, beach yoga, and more. Find you. Visit oceanedge.com.
Still a bit of sun going on and warmer this afternoon. I'll get to the high of 75. But tonight it'll cloud up, folks. Got a shower or two coming on early, then periods of rain, some of it heavy. Maybe even a thunderstorm later tonight into early tomorrow. Might be some downpours, too, that can get to areas of flash flooding as well as ponding on the roadways. We got a low of 60 degrees. In fact, we got the flood watch is in effect west of the city this evening into Saturday morning. Right now, we are hanging on to 75 degrees under mainly clear skies in Central Park. Good afternoon. I'm Larry Mullins. When's news time at the Tone, 3:30.
Good afternoon. I'm Lori Madden. Are you ready for it?
Taylor Swift says she has regained control of her music. Swift announced in a lengthy note on her official website she now has all the music she has ever made. Taylor Swift says she bought her catalog of recordings, originally released through Big Machine Records, from their most recent owner, private equity firm Shamrock Capital. She did not mention a price. Over the last few years, Swift has been re-recording and releasing her first 6 albums in an attempt to regain control of her music. It was instigated after music manager Scooter Braun bought and sold her early catalog. Braun says he's happy for Swift. All 4 of Taylor Swift's re-recordings have been massive hits, each debuting #1 on the Billboard chart. I'm Ed Donahue.
Wins News Time, 3:31. Time now for traffic and transit. Here's Greg Rice.
Well, it is a summer Friday, so you knew it was going to be trouble getting you from Brooklyn over to Staten Island en route to Jersey. Westbound belt, not a whole lot of blank space from Knapp Street all the way to the Verrazano. Staten Island bound Verrazano, both levels are at an absolute standstill on the westbound Staten Island Expressway. That crawl continues all the way to South Avenue. The Outer Bridge Jersey bound is all sorts of crowded. So the Goethals Bridge to the southbound Turnpike, that's going to treat you a whole lot better. Getting you down the shore, southbound is already starting to get worse on the Parkway from Route 33 just north of Wall all the way down to Toms River. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Slightly better at the George, 40 on the upper, 20 minutes on the inbound lower. West Side Highway a standstill through the 90s with a breakdown blocking the left lane. After that, you'll fly. Lincoln Tunnel, 20 minutes in, 45 out from 11th, about 30 from 9th. And the outbound Holland is over an hour because of an earlier closure with construction on the Jersey side with the Holland Newark Bay. Better either way. Traffic is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. I'm Greg Rice, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Now the AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here is meteorologist Brian Thompson.
Lori, we've had some sunshine throughout the afternoon. Clouds starting to move on in from the northwest in some areas. And we have been tracking a couple of showers here and there. There's a couple of showers in parts of Westchester County right now. There's been a few along the Jersey Shore as well. We'll just see these spotty showers into the early part of tonight through about 9 or 10 o'clock. And then as we get closer to midnight and into the overnight hours, that's when we'll see some steadier rounds of rain come in from the south and west. There will be the potential for some downpours, even a thunderstorm into early tomorrow. And there will be the potential for some flash flooding. We do have a flood watch in effect for North Jersey, the lower Hudson Valley from this evening, and that goes through tomorrow morning. As we could pick up an inch and a half of rain, maybe even a little bit more than that in some spots in a relatively short period of time. And especially given how wet it's been lately, won't take a whole lot to cause some flooding issues. Now, later tomorrow, maybe a bit of a break around midday before a few more showers and perhaps a gusty thunderstorm pop up during the afternoon and early evening. Tomorrow's high near 70. Turns breezy and cooler as we dry out later tomorrow night. And we'll see some sunshine return on Sunday. Breezy and cool for early June with a high of 66, but a big warm-up after that. 73 on Monday with more sun than clouds. Near 80 Tuesday and likely into the 80s by Wednesday and Thursday. Partly sunny and 73 degrees right now in Midtown. We're going down to 60. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station. 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
They're committed to providing you with the best customer service experience possible, so you get a fast and reliable connection that makes more things possible. Backed by a 100% U.S.-based workforce, available whenever you need them. Spectrum.
Central Park is getting some extra attention. Mayor Adams says more than 20 city agencies are partnering with the Central Park Conservancy to double down on quality of life complaints, although he acknowledges crime is down.
We know crime is down and jobs are up. That's a successful model that we're able to proclaim. But you can't give people stats when they're worried about abandoned vehicles, public drug usage, or any other quality of life issue. We want people to be safe. We were successful in doing that, but we want them to feel safe.
He says the Central Park Conservancy partnership is part of his Community Link initiative. After some neighborhood controversy, Forest Hills is ready to rock. Mumford & Sons already sold out at Forest Hills Stadium, but the full summer concert series has been announced. A series that was in doubt at times due to noise complaints in Forest Hills. The July 22nd and 23rd Fish shows also sold out. The Black Keys, Louis C.K., Shawn Mendes among the acts on the summer lineup. Maybe you have a crazy roommate story. Just about every New Yorker has one. And there's a new deal way to deal with that crazy.
Roommate court goes beyond the basic do's and don'ts of being a good cohabitator.
You brought in non-kosher pickles?
It's pickles. All pickles are kosher, right? It's not that simple.
Host and judge Michael Aber brings the humor and therapist vibes.
There's something about housing in New York City where you will meet people that you were never destined to come across in this lifetime.
Walk the streets of New York and you'll find plenty of roommate court cases.
I noticed odd smells frequently. He would freak out because he realized he didn't clean anything. I had a roommate that threatened to punch my teeth out.
Aber's goal is to make roommates more tolerable to each other and society. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
76 degrees now. We are going down to 60 degrees tonight. We are expecting heavy rain later on. We have a flash flood watch in effect for North Jersey and the Hudson Valley from tonight into tomorrow morning. Hank and Peggy Hill meet Hulu. That story's next.
The business world is evolving, but saving wherever possible remains smart business. That's why PSE&G designed many different programs to help you save on energy costs. Our experts will help find the energy solutions that are the right fit for you, your business, and your world. Because saving energy impacts so much more than your bottom line. Connect with a PSE&G Energy Efficiency Advisor to learn more at pseg.com/business savings.
Are you living with dry AMD? If so, you could be on the road to geographic atrophy, or GA, a condition that leads to retinal cell death and permanent vision loss. But with Izervay, you can
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay slows GA progression by targeting a key source of retinal cell death, which may help preserve your vision longer. Izervay, or Avastin Captid Pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Now 1010 wins entertainment. Hank and Peggy are back. The King of the Hill revival debuts on Hulu August 4th. 10 new episodes are on the way. The Hills are now retired. Bobby is 21, and he's a chef in Dallas. Ariana Grande, ready to meet the parents.
If I find that you are trying to corrupt my firstborn child, I will bring you down, baby. I will bring you down to Chinatown.
Grande is joining the cast of Meet the Parents 4. Robert De Niro and Ben Stiller definitely back. The Hollywood Reporter says Blythe Danner and Terry Polo are close to signing on. No word on just what role Grande will be playing.
I'm finally hitting the road.
Maybe happy ending won't be ending soon for Darren Criss, the Tony-nominated